Galway. Widely regarded as Ireland's cultural heart, this is the country's fastest growing city, sitting on the west coast of the Emerald Isle. Our 7 Volvo ocean race crews are here recovering from what was an extraordinary Atlantic crossing.
The North Atlantic can throw anything at you, really.
It can just go so bad, so quick.
Historically, things do happen.
1 minute! Okay, that's good. Stand by up! Nice, good, nice. That makes it lively.
It is undoubtedly the coldest conditions we've encountered so far.
We're practicing for the next prize giving. Playing howdy-ho early in the morning.
I'm gonna try and smack it off with a weight stick. Oh, just hit a lobster pot, but it looks alright.
It's quite badly damaged to the dashboard. Rudder has snapped off about 6 inches below the hull. It was nearly game over for us.
Got a little yacht race on our hands here.
Lovely day for sailing today, though.
$2 in the morning, there's about 50 boats chasing us.
By getting to Ireland first, Torben Grael's Ericsson 4 is on the verge of claiming overall victory. Ahead of the Galway In-Port Race, and with just 3 legs of the race remaining, the Brazilian and his men are 14.5 points ahead of Bauer Becking's Telefonica Blue. Ken Reid on Puma's Il Mostro remains third on 76 points. On leaving Galway, the fleet will head to Sweden, destination Maastricht. Leg 9 is a short hop from there to Stockholm before the race finishes in St. Petersburg, Russia at the end of June. While Ericsson 4's win on Leg 7 has moved them closer to glory, it's the crew of Green Dragon who are the talk of the town.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It's like 3:30 in the morning. We thought everybody would be in their beds. Phenomenal. I don't think anybody will be able to forget this. I think all the teams will think this is the best stuff ever. Out of this world.
Lying 5th overall, Ian Walker and his men left Boston desperately seeking their first podium finish of the race. While their home port of Galway eagerly anticipated their arrival, 200,000 players on the virtual Volvo Ocean Race game teamed up hoping to bring them the success they craved.
Every 12 hours, Ian and I are going to send some text explaining what's going on the boat, what the conditions are like, what sort of tactical and strategic dilemmas we have. We're going to outline some choices to the gaming community, who then have 1 hour to vote. Most of the time it was fine, it didn't get in the way. There was a couple of times where we were really busy on deck and it was like, oh my God, we've got to do a question in the next 45 minutes. And so a couple of times it was a pain, but most of the time it was interesting, it was quite fun. It actually made us think a little bit harder about what were our big decisions of the moment. And I'm happy to say that most of the time the gamers came up with the same solutions that we did.
To secure third, Green Dragon had to hold off the challenge of Telefonica Blue.
in the darkness it's very deceptive as to how far a boat is, how far away they are, and we could see their lights and they were clearly getting closer. I guess once we came past Blackhead really into the bay, the chances are we were going to hold on to them. In fact, even in the last 300 yards of the line, we had to drop our spinnaker because I was nervous we wouldn't be able to drop it with all the spectators all around us. So we dropped the spinnaker early and immediately parked, and even then, 200 yards from the line, I was worried about them coming. I had this image of them reaching past us in the last 100 yards, but they didn't, and it was fantastic for the team. When we came through the harbour gates, it was very moving. I just had no idea the race was having such a big impact on Galway or how many people were following it. As it turns out, 4 o'clock in the morning is probably not a bad time to arrive in Galway.
We go with we don't know the game. We need to be prepared for everything.
As Walker reflects on an epic journey, the two Ericsson teams are beginning to acquaint themselves with Irish life as they swap sails for sticks. Hurling is a fast, dangerous Gaelic team game that's been played across Ireland for 2,000 years.
This is a hurley stick made from ash, and ideally the ash tree would be about 20 years old.
Now look at this.
So we'll start briefly with what's called a puck fada, which is a long distant competition.
Whoa!
So hopefully he'll be able to put it long distance.
Any Irish blood in you?
Well, it's extraordinary that the dexterity that's needed for hurling is quite high, because it's a little ball, or slither as we call it, and it's control of the hurling. And I've seen lots of fit people making 10 attempts to hit it before they got it first time. But the crew seem to take to it. Joel, your PE teacher, our trainer, he was hitting balls 120 yards, like some of our lads couldn't match it, like, so we're very impressed, I must say.
All right! Hey. Mark it, Vinny, mark it!
If you get it over the post, I tell you this, it's 1 point. And after the net, then it's 3.
But is it
mostly goalkeeper, yeah.
Is it mostly the goals you make is to the net?
No, mostly point.
And all the guys have helmets.
Yeah.
What about protection? Privates.
You can wear it if you want. Not how let's do. Goalkeepers.
Goalies, yeah.
Just do.
The girlfriends wouldn't be too heavy.
No. Just to hold it down like that, to rise it up, then you carry it like that. And you hand it. Okay? Right, Joel, you're trying. That's excellent. Ah, yeah. Okay, let's get going now.
Still impressed with the dexterity, though?
Ish.
Finishing second behind Ericsson 4 on leg 7 was Ken Read on PUMA. But their runners-up spot came at a price. 5 days out of Boston, Il Mostro broke its port rudder. Also nursing bow damage, Ken Read's boat limped over the finishing line. With overall victory still possible, shore manager Neil Cox is facing a race against time to get the boat ready for the Galway In-Port Race and the start of leg 8.
It's as bad as it looks. It's probably worse than what it looks. I mean, you can see we've lost the entire skins of the hull for the first probably almost 2 metres of the boat and a metre up here. This is what's known as a crash bow. It's actually designed to fail if they hit something, whether they'd hit a container or a whale, a chunk of ice, anything that floats around in the ocean, really. Pretty much the guys have hit a fishing pot, or the actual ropes that can hold the thing in the water. It's actually sawn its way through the front of the boat here, which has open exposed the bow. Basically, you've got composite skins here. This is low density foam, and you can see the yellow stuff is a higher density foam. Basically, as the boat then has sailed the rest of the week, doing speeds of up to 30 plus knots, basically the water pressure alone has just come in here this way, either side of the bow, and just blown the carbon skins off the boat. And at the same time then, it's also just started to eat away at the foam, almost like sugar dissolving, really. I wish they had rung me 5 days earlier so I could have got the false bow here.
After hitting a whale on its journey across the Atlantic, damaging the keel, the work to get Ericsson 3 ready for the forthcoming in-port race is well underway.
Normally I can only use one line. Now they have more belief in me, so I have 2 lines. I'm moving up. The short crew starts to understand I'm not that useless.
We got to put a no whale sign down on the fin. Going out.
A few metres away, having worked through the night, PUMA shore manager Neil Cox continues his battle against the clock. One obstacle may prove insurmountable.
Hello there, very good afternoon to you. I'm Ursula Bracken from the RTE Weather Team, coming to you live from Galway City. So let's start with a look at the latest satellite image. You can see this band of cloud over the western half of the country. The latest radar is showing up just echoes of a few showers about, a little patchy rain and drizzle in places, and plenty of dull conditions about as well.
Managed to get the skins back on the bow, replace all the foam underneath it last night, get the skins back on last night. Now we're looking at doing all the secondary bonding and taping it all back together and trying to make it one integral bow again. Like they've been 22-hour days actually. I think a couple of us only got home for a couple of hours last night, and then we had heaters running through there. It got pretty warm. It was about 50 degrees in there last night. It's pretty full on. It was poor old Spider's birthday yesterday and he did not see 1 minute of it apart from being here. So it was a bit disappointing for him. Apparently we owe his mother an apology. She didn't get to speak to him. Best case scenario, very late tomorrow night. Worst case scenario, very early Thursday morning. We'll see. Fingers crossed. If this tent doesn't blow away in the next 24 hours, we'll be looking good.
The pressure's on for Ian Walker and his Green Dragon crew as they practice along with the rest of the fleet for the Galway In-Port Race. In just 48 hours, up to 100,000 people are expected to line the coastline to cheer on the Irish-Chinese entry.
Of course you're keen to do well in front of your home crowd, but you know, PUMA weren't fortunate enough to do that in Boston, and same with Torben in Rio, so you've got to be a little bit careful what the pressure can bring. For us, I think we're just going to try and, sounds a bit cliched, but just try and just do what we normally do all the little things well, and we can't worry about the result. All we can do is try our hardest, and you know, then hopefully things will come down in our favour. Okay, stand by, Kiwi drop. Nice work. Okay, and tacking now.
The stopover in Galway is giving the team an opportunity to thank those who helped them achieve third place on leg 7 via the Volvo Ocean Race online game.
How are you? Nice to meet you. Hi, nice
Congratulations,
to meet you. Well done.
Well, nice work.
You guys as well, eh? Third place, very good.
Everybody was happy.
Oh, nice actually to meet with you, because it was fun, wasn't it?
So how are you doing in the whole race, or have you just done one leg?
No, I'm number 50 or so. Did you actually find it useful to have those virtual tips?
We have to be careful what we say. We don't want the competitors to think we're getting outside assistance.
But it was fun.
That's what we were hoping, was that it would give you guys a slightly better understanding of all the different factors in our decision-making process, not just wind, water temperature and land and all sorts of different things.
Yeah, no, that's really what you noticed. And
You should come on board and have a look at the nav station and see what it's really like.
This is something else. Nice.
We just have the two computers with a touchscreen. Pretty much it's either Ian or Ian here the whole time.
But I can imagine, because if I look at that myself, I continuously am looking at the weather maps and see how weather is developing, if it's shifting a bit more than expected.
But hopefully what we were doing gave you guys a chance to
it's really
think about
convergence of the two worlds.
Well, congratulations again.
Yeah, no, thanks very
Well
much. It's fun to see. That was clearly great, huh? So, yeah, enjoyed that tremendously. It's nice actually to see what kind of decisions they have to make, and particularly if you compare it, but there's so much more to it. And of course, you know that already through the game, and actually with the kind of little stories they put into the questions. But it's nice to hear it from himself.
Race day, Galway.
Well done, Mr. Walker. Thanks, yeah.
Our 7 boats are ready for the 2 in-port races.
Couple of pints of Guinness last night, slept like a log. Yeah, it looks good. We've got lovely weather, nice weather, light winds. I guess this is what we do, whether it's the Olympics, the America's Cup, or we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as individuals. We want to do well.
At the line, Green Dragon takes a gamble, starting on port tack. It's an excellent start from both of the Telefonica boats. Telefonica Black tacks on top of Puma. And Il Mostro's skipper, Ken Read, is furious.
One more time! One more! Hold it. Start increasing the pressure now. Good pressure. Are they on the lay line? They're not on lay, they're a little giant lay. Yeah, there you go. You can go inside, you can go inside.
At the top mark, it's Telefonica Black who lead from Telefonica Blue. Ericsson 3 tacks inside Ericsson 4. Green Dragon is struggling in front of their home crowd in 6th. Up ahead, Puma's Il Mostro is 3rd. At the bottom mark, it's Telefonica Blue who now lead, with Telefonica Black in 2nd. Telefonica Blue surge ahead of the rest of the fleet as they pass the top mark for the final time. This will be an easy win.
Very, very careful now, eh?
Okay, ready to drop. And dropping down.
It's a Telefonica 1-2, as Fernando Acavari's men on Telefonica Black finish 2nd. Puma claims 3rd, with Green Dragon last. Race 2, and it's all to play for. Can the Telefonica boats again excel? Will Green Dragon give the Galway crowd something to cheer?
Go, Mark, pin and 5 it, go! Green Dragon is coming! Green Dragon is coming, go!
Go 9, go 9! Up! Go 9, go 9!
Your hook, stay up, stay up, stay up!
Telefonica Black misjudged the start and are forced to recross the line.
Just hold this mode, Kenny.
Ken Read on Puma's Il Mostro makes a storming start. But what do the two Ericsson boats have up their sleeve? Puma round the first mark in the lead, despite pressure from Bauer Becking on Telefonica Blue. Torben Grael on Ericsson 4 is third.
Carry him on, please. Going now, going now, going now, going now, going now. Nice.
Probably going to be the left mark. It'll be a left-hand draw.
At the second mark, it's Puma who still lead from Telefonica Blue and Ericsson 4.
Okay, better hard.
No sheet on the wing.
Come on! There we go.
At the top mark for the last time, Magnus Olsson on Ericsson 3 has stormed into second.
We can screw this one up.
It's Puma first, and by finishing third earlier in the day are overall winners. They're followed by Ericsson 3 and Telefonica Blue. Green Dragon are last again. Despite finishing fifth overall, Ericsson 4 remain on course to win the Volvo Ocean Race in St. Petersburg at the end of June. Torben Grael is 13 points clear of Bauer Becking at the top of the leaderboard. Ken Read's victory in the Galway In-Port Race means he's now just a point behind the Dutchman in third.
It's extraordinary. I mean, it's absolutely extraordinary what's happened here. I mean, Ireland's a small country, Galway's a small town within Ireland, and you know, the whole country has embraced this race, and they've embraced the in-port racing. There's just thousands and thousands of people, and I have to say that I don't think I've ever enjoyed a day sailing when I've come last in my life as much as I enjoyed today, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening. I'm not going to let it get me down.
We have to bounce back from today and just keep the big picture in mind, and we are still in a very strong position. So, you know, in terms of offshore sailing, we don't need to change too much, and we'll have a good hard look at ourselves after today and make sure that we pick up our onshore performance for next time.
Our shore crew has been working around the clock. Without the entire shore team, we wouldn't even been on the race course today, never mind winning. So all the credit goes to those guys. They deserve it.